can start recording now. Cool. All right. So, let us choose a text channel. Can we make an admin text channel?
Okie dokie, in or out.
All right. So, good.
Okay, it's created.
All right. Now let's dig in. Prioritize. All right. Doing one last look through my friends list here for some missing people that I know might be online. And nope. All right. And I'll just bring up the Google Doc that I have. Doc. So, we're gonna start with the ranks. I believe the ranking system, at least the providing of at least the admin ranks. And then after that, we'll discuss further ranks for other divisions because we need to get those implemented too. But once again, I'd rather just show what I have so far and see if at least I guess that could be represented to just the admin team, but I thought it would be appropriate to show everyone, considering that it will be affecting everyone. So uh, everybody on the admin text channel, or who has access to the admin text channel, Aiden?
Right now, I just gave it to everyone. I'm gonna adjust it
Okay.
later, but right now everybody should have access to it.
All right. Uh, 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 Docs. So I did a little bit more work on this last night, just to fill in the gaps. But generally, it's all completed. Um, Holy shit! Just load. All right. And posted. There you are. So, just take a look over that. A lot of you have already done it, already had a look over it. But some of you haven't. So,
Where do you have the text channel? I can't find it.
It's underneath members, right above voice.
Yeah. It's at the bottom of all the text channels.
Got admin, members, ship list.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, you should see it. You already have the privileges, so you see it. It's ship list members, and there should be admin right underneath it.
Yeah, admin. Yeah, okay.
All right. So we'll do a read over that first and see how everybody thinks of it. And if you have an opinion to put, please do.
Is this the thing you sent to me once?
I believe so. I sent it to a lot of people in the higher positions, but yeah, I haven't really completed it until this time. So some of it's sort of duct taped, you could say, for this meeting. At least the better half of it. Because I had to write up other things, and I've been occupied with so not only real life matters, but um, some minor disturbances is what I could call it. Um, the reason being for this is that we've had you know, don't really panic about it because it's not really too much of an issue, but we've had some infiltration problems, and it's been getting me for the past week or so, is what I could say. So that's why Archon's gone. Um, if you guys knew Archon, uh, I I did believe him as like he seemed trustworthy at first, and then he did some questionable things that I thought were just out of character. So yeah.
And a few disrespectful things too.
So we've got to watch out for spies, I think, spies and infiltrators. Um, that's one thing. I realized that the screening process should be a lot better. And by the way, Aiden, can you take Taurus off of Commander?
Gotcha.
He's not part of our group, so uh, he decided to go do his own thing.
So you may remove them all together and just put them as visitor then?
Yeah,
That way he can come and talk, but that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's fine. All he does is post his pictures in the picture chat anyway.
You have to remove the his top title, his top, because I'm not allowed to.
Oh, really? What the fuck?
Yeah, only you or Crom can remove the general thing,
Okay.
the general rank from them. But I already removed the other ones and put them as the visitor.
Yeah, I can't remove it either. It's Crom that has to do it. All right. Anywho, uh, I'm guessing everybody looked over that, or some people are
Yep.
maybe still reading. I did some edits to it for those who did read it before. If you see the later on ranks. Uh, okay. Anywho, anybody have any questions or opinions on the subject of ranking or in period? All right. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, so anyways, I was hoping that the commanders would all be here. Unfortunately, Veteran is the only one, but that's fortunate, I guess, because usually it's the opposite. Um, so basically, I was trying to get. Oh, actually, no. Veteran and Devil. Sorry. Fuck. Uh,
And
Ja,
Norhix.
ja, normalerweise it's yeah.
Norhix to fill in.
no, Norhix to fill in, and then there's also Ebot. That's who we're missing. We're missing Ebot. Ebot and Raider. Sorry. For the little bit of time there, I thought Devil you weren't even gonna come. So, um, that's what was in my mind. Okay. Anywho, I was hoping that, or actually, I was sort of thinking that you guys could create your own divisions ranking trees, if you guys were okay with that. For the
Sounds like
commanders.
Eddie.
Our own commanders or what?
Well,
In our group or what?
your group's ranking trees within reason, of course. Like it can't be like immense ranking tree. Like
Yeah, no. I know. Yeah.
it's
Within
Isn't it? I'm sorry. Isn't it good if, for example, we have underneath each commander that we have a squad leader, two squad leaders, and after the squad leaders, we like have five people or like six people with the squad leader in the one squad.
You
So
mean
underneath,
platoons?
yeah. So
uh,
underneath each commander,
time
you'll
for
have.
questions is not right now.
All right.
Okay. anyways, the question was to the commanders. Were you guys all right with creating a ranking list? And I've already asked two so far, and they're okay with it. I think Veteran, you said you're okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Um, like it's not gonna. You don't have to make it super duper complex.
Nope.
The only thing that the only one that I do consider to be sort of complex is the military, or at least our security. Um, that will be sort of like a serious sort of matter when it comes to ranking, because people do take their military serious, and I would rather have that nice and locked up when it comes to positioning, knowing the position of each other, sort of compartmentalization. Um, Due to the fact that if a spy knows the location of our fleets, then whatever, you know, that sort of thing. So um, we're not going to fully micromanage absolutely everything. Um, some things are it's just within reason. So um, as long as you guys are okay with that, Norix, I already know that Hobo wrote up a document on what his ranking system is sort of going to look like. Um, and I'll have to hear from Raider after this meeting about what he's thinking about R&D. And now we can answer questions, I guess. Free Fly, do you mind reciting your question?
Yeah, I was thinking like you were talking about a ranking tree. Isn't it easier for you guys on the top of the organization to have that every commander or all the commanders has the same ranking tree?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was getting to when I said within reason, and so like
So
having three main ranks was sort of the thing because it does uh, go along with the RSI site and our current ranking system for every single division. So like you'll have if you see inside on the admin document that I put out there is like there's three sort of main tiers, and I call them tiers because there's ranks in between, but they don't really um, add anything but really responsibility. Um, that's the reason I added that is to let people have a growing process so that they can grow slower and slower and learn more of the rules as they go along to each higher rank before we give them a certain amount of responsibility and power. So the yes, of course, I think that's really important that we have three main ranks in each uh, division. So like one is like the basic, and then the second one's like the intermediate, and then so on. Then the third one's leadership. So that was sort of what I was thinking, but unfortunately, like I don't think, or not even unfortunately, I think it's rather fortunate. I think things like divisions like mining, I don't think require um, a really too detailed um, ranking system because like there's not mining is like I guess that it'll have to do with training and stuff like that for certain things. And exploration sort of the same thing. You just go out and find stuff. Um, the the I don't think there's too much detail to put into a lot of these things, but I guess you're right. There should be still um, uh, a parallel, like with the ranking
um,
system.
yes,
Uh,
so like
That's what we're
like
here
if
to discuss, though. So that's that's good that you asked that question. Sorry, I interrupted you.
so like if you say that, for example, the military or like the people that are doing the fighting and the protecting, they have like a more advanced system, and that will be for that group, and all the others, which doesn't need to be that specific, can also like have the same ranking system, but easier or
More comprehensible.
less positions. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. Um,
So
I-
RSI uses up to 5 stars to recognize the ranks, right?
we don't count ranks as that. We switched our ranks and roles.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just wondering what you mentioned what RSI has. So I was just wondering what they use.
Okay.
I've never looked on their website on the website to see what they're using.
Oh, and there's okay. There's also one thing. There's one thing I did forget to mention was high admin or high commanders have a division lead. So like for instance, all the commanders Norik is just a commander, um, whereas Hobo is the high commander of the division. So there's only one high commander. There,
So basically, the high commander you said is basically the department head. Then
yeah. However, there we will be limiting the amount of commanders possible for each division. So we don't have like this massive amount of people with large amounts of power and stuff. Um, so that was sort of what I wanted to say as well, because I thought it would be important when people were building their rank trees to sort of like add that as well. All right. We anybody got any other questions?
Seems clear to me right now. So
Yeah,
far,
to
man.
me too.
so
All right.
thumb spasms. So there's basically an admin. There's basically 8 different levels, not counting the high, what you call the honors level. So basically, you get the basic, the intermediate, and the honors. It's broke it down into 3 categories, basically. If I get understand that right. Like you said, like I said, the basic ones are just the low level ones, intermediates in between, and the honors ones are the upper ranking of the admins.
Um. Okay.
Well, I'm just making sure I understand you correctly. That's all.
Uh, Sorry. Someone.
Well,
Kilvin was telling me that he was at work, and I was reading his message at the same time. Could you re-say that?
Basically, what you're saying is there's basically 3 categories of admins. You got basic, intermediate, and honors,
Yeah.
and there's a total of eight, not counting honors for basic, intermediate. There's a total of 8 levels.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I understand it correctly.
That was for the admin tree at least. Uh,
Yeah, that's
it's
gotcha.
completely you can decide whatever you want for whatever division. Um, as long as there's at least three. So
Admin means just
we're like a
um,
we're like a customer service team basically. We just uh, it's sort of just working with a lot of human relations sort of stuff. Just like we take care of diplomacy and things like that. Well, some diplomacy.
okay.
Security team will also be handling diplomacy. Um,
And then we get together all the intelligence so we can say you're a foobar and you're kicked out.
yeah.
All right. The ranking system doesn't seem to be complicated so far, but is it going to be possible in the near future maybe to attach kind of some responsibility and request towards that rank in order to achieve it, for example?
Oh, so like
Uh,
so if you want a rank, you can request it. What? Is that what I'm getting?
He's talking about what credentials, what you need to do to
Yeah,
get achieve that rank.
Oh yes,
pretty much. Yeah.
that's what.
Progression, I guess you can call it, or something like that.
I've
And
also added credentials sort of like that in this current ranking system. But are you, I thought you were talking about request. Is that how it is?
no, what I mean by that is, okay, your the the highest rank of your division is gonna know everything. Is gonna look at his division members, and is gonna be able to make an evaluation of what they are doing in game, out of game, whatever, to be able to actually give such member his rank, depend on what he's doing, right?
You mean that if you have sort of like a guy who's really good at all
Yeah.
stuff, you just give him a rank, so you as a commander has the right to rank your personnel.
If
Oh yeah.
if
Promotions.
Well,
I'm
that's the thing as well. You can, but generally I would say follow guidelines. Uh, but
yeah,
that's the thing.
exactly.
Actually I can sort of I have a text last night I posted. Uh, I would like to just repost it here because it is kind of relevant. Uh, this, boom. All right, so just read that. Sort of what I went out to do, and sort of
Yeah, I've read that.
give you a good meaning or a good explanation for what I mean.
Yeah, I totally agree with all that you typed there. What I was
Yeah, I saw
about
that.
is just kind of, for example, if you're military, okay, that guy that have a tremendous fighting skill on a ship, boarding, commanding, detecting ambush, get rid of it, taking
What I'm saying
always
is
taking the
we
contested
all
one.
have jobs. We all have jobs to do.
Yeah,
We have a responsibility. Um, I I do my job, or you do your job. And we all make it out. Rich people, essentially. So
yeah, but what I mean is, I would be kind of I would be kind of upset if I'm always constantly in the front line, even if pretty much those guys on the front line are the guys that are gaining their rank the slowest. If the closest you are from the front, the slower you are rising in rank.
well, that's with everything. That's
But if I'm a medic, combat medic, and I'm just gathering cold or warm body all around with no danger, well,
the thing
I'd
is.
appreciate to see that combat medic that is in the front line
I understand this, and I think that the
to
thing
upgrade a bit
is,
fast.
I think is the only thing is that I can say is that if if we uh, if we were to do go with sort of like the trust system, like you're sort of talking about, um, I would, but unfortunately, uh, it shows that I can't trust absolutely everybody. So I found that a way to um, be at a minimum to the casualties would be to make everybody follow sort of the guideline when it comes to getting ranks. I consider that if you're meant for a rank, you're gonna get it anyways. So what's the point? And
May I just interrupt? Um, uh, I think we could just jump over this point if we sort of make it in the divisions, like everybody got some rank, of course. For, for instance, if I could use the transport ranks, I would say something like commander, captain, or something like this. So you know which personnel can fly big ships, which personnel is in rank just to follow or fly escort or sort of stuff like this.
Okay.
And if you have some people who are better at their job, I think you could do it over the payment. So everybody gets sort of like a point system where somebody who is doing his job well, not enough, it doesn't have any crashes and stuff like this, and gets the job well done. It's sort of like a point or star system. So if you have to, as a commander, have a look around and see who's doing the job well, and just the commanders of the divisions should then do meeting something and say, okay, this guy is doing a really good job. He helped and he escorted well or whatever. And then you give those people not a rank, but a better payment because they're worth more money in the end. It's like in real
Bonus.
life. It's maybe a better point to get people to work better, to work on themselves, to get their skills up. So and then the ranks are not that important anymore because the rank is sort of like just an, dividing. It's not a military rank in that you have more.
Oh
I don't
no,
know.
I was meaning for it to be more of a progressive responsibility sort of guideline. It's not.
Yeah, right.
It's not. It's not like when you're given a rank, it's just an expectation. That's all it is. It's an expectation that you know these things and that you know what you're doing and to the standards of the group.
Yeah, that's why I
But
see. I would say really I do it about with the what do you call it in English? Then sort of like a bonus. You get sort of like a bonus, like pirates do it in the old days. The captain gets percentage so much, and um, the I don't know whatever. Then it goes down into the cook. The cook gets maybe less than the other fighting guys, and so
Yeah, I agree with that.
divide sort of like so. In the end,
but
everybody sort of does his work, and he's sort of got a star system, or I don't know, sort of like you do it with the admins, the stripes, or whatever. But then it just tells the other people so the payment.
All right.
If someone
But
sort of
we haven't
starts
even
new,
discussed how the stat system's going to work yet.
We've sort of discussed it actually. We're thinking about having the captains pay their crew and
Right.
having if a person is reliable, we'll have like a service record and we'll show it sort of like okay, well, um, this crewman has showed that he's done really good in the past. Now, depending on
Yeah, like a
um, if a person wants to hire that person into their crew, that is their decision to pay them the minimum or whatever. But they must know that someone else must be wanting them on their ship. So we'll create a competitive market, sort of like nowadays in a government. So like have um, if we could like I mean unless we want to like um, because we all know that we're working together, but creating a competitive market would be sort of like just being on your own. So it kind of uh, it gives people freedom, I guess, in a sense. That's what I was sort of thinking, and it also kind of figures itself out because people will pay people for certain materials, and then they will take those materials and they'll say, okay, well, I'm gonna need some protection on the way. I can hire the security people, and depending on how good they are, how good their rating is, um, they can get paid more. So now people will also be striving for ratings. So they will say, okay, hey, can you rate me um, for doing this job? And then someone will say, hey, yeah, sure, I'll rate you. And then they're rated, and then they might get paid more for their next job.
yeah, sort of like this, yeah, sort of in this manner, sort of. So you don't really have an
Well, I thought it would
actual ranking
I
system.
thought it would be I thought it would be sort of like a better way of doing it, because it would just give people a little bit more freedom to do what they want. That was sort of also another way I was looking at it. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yes, and usually micromanaging makes people unhappy.
That's sort of what I was thinking as well. So we could throw away the entire. Well, I guess we'll keep the admin ranks because that's what I was. That's why I didn't really build any other ranks in the other divisions. Because first of all, I would rather just give you guys the ability to do that on your own. And uh, second of all, I didn't even think we really needed to be honest. Not too much at least. Because it's pretty straightforward. We can um, unless we want to micromanage it. Um, we just need people to overlook the operations and make sure that everything's being done right. Because if we have everybody just doing random things, everybody will be fighting for materials and stuff like that, and it will cause other problems. Um, so we need a chain of command somewhere.
What do we need to decide like on a this is what the base structure is for all departments to follow, and they like you have to have just say like 4 enlisted ranks 1 through 4 and 4 officer ranks 1 through 4, and that way every department, no matter what department you're in, if you're an E3 and someone else is an E1, you outrank them unless it pertains to what their specialized or department is.
Essentially, that's sort of what I was
So
thinking.
like an E1 in security does not outrank E3 in transport unless it deals with security issues because
Yeah,
they'll have more security training than the E3
yeah, and if
in
a
transport.
security person's on a mining location or some other location of transport or something, then the person overlooking that would be the mining um, or transport leaders. Um, of course, if even if a higher officer, let's say a commander, comes into uh, sort of a mining operation and says to his squad leader, "You must do this," they don't generally have to do this. It's more about of uh, respect, I guess. It's not
Right.
innate. The thing is, if because this would cause a lot of disturbance if people could just go into other divisions and mess with them. So
So you mean
Gotcha.
the commander or whatever of the other division is sort of like an advisor more than so he can say I
to
would do it like this,
to
and the
another
commander decides it.
yeah to another when they're in another group's area is what I'm saying.
So it's basically like in the Navy, if a commander from the medical department comes up to the security officer who is, even though they're only a lieutenant, and the commander from medical says, "Hey, we need this, but right now there's a security issue going on. The Even though the lieutenant from security is lower ranking than the medical officer, he'll say, "Sorry, we're not, because we're in a security issue. Security takes overrides medical."
Yeah, sounds
If
logical
I
for me as well.
understand it correctly. So that way, uh, somebody from science department or security steps into the mining department and says, "Hey, you need to do this." Well, I'm like, "Well, there's no security issue going on right now, so you have no authority."
All right. Anybody else got any questions about this? Veteran.
Yes. Well, ranking hard ranking is going to be difficult for some divisions like mining or exploration.
Okay.
This is why I suggest us just to work like military system, because that military system is easy to understand because we face it every day, every single one of us. We can just read a little bit on Google, know their
Or
rank.
just ask your
Uh,
military personnel.
uh, no, but imagine if we were a military organization doing mineral contracting. Okay, we are all military. We just retired. We are doing mining, commerce, etc., etc. Right? But we have our structure. Then we have that ranking. But as you said, Aiden, depend on your department. If the security decide no, I can't help you right now because we have a security matter that is a priority, pri- that has a priority higher than yours. We're doing this, and then we come back to you,
All
right?
right. So the reason why I don't want to copy another system is because it destroys the learning process, and in regards of okay, for instance, how many here have served in the military?
Me.
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 Okay, so that's three people out of what, nine? Um, so I'd say only three people here have experience in this matter, and whereas other people have read it on a document, and experiencing something
Or
and
film.
doing it is a different story. So the personal experience from creating something, and I know that even in the military you don't create documents like this, and you wouldn't create the structure at all. But the okay, um,
We do.
the thing is that there is a certain process in when you create something, um, you tend to remember it a lot more when you go through a slower process doing creating it. So, for instance, if you were to let's say the government, for instance, when the okay, I don't understand people sometimes.
Chaos Unlimited. Is he? What's? Is he? He's part of the org. What is his
No,
rank? Because I
it's
think he's
Dixie.
trying to
It's
get.
Dixie disconnecting and reconnecting.
Oh, okay.
All right. So when do you guys like it's hard for a lot of people to understand even how or why the government even in even like just even the simplest of governments were even created in the first place. And I think a lot of people don't understand that what situation we are in the real world actually is. And I think that if we just put it on paper and we just keep on putting on paper, and copying things, and it eventually becomes this thing that just doesn't actually make any sense. So, like, for instance, what do you think a government is, guys? Because I think that our current government is so corrupt that it doesn't know
It,
what is up from down.
Well,
well,
it's corrupting when you're allowed lobbyists.
Well, no,
I know
it's
exactly what the
no,
government.
no. We just need to know the general fact that it's not working. So
Yeah.
the thing is, I think that a reformation of government would fix this problem because people would understand government, and they would understand the purpose of living. And the thing is that a government isn't just an entity that is magically there. That is the people. And that's the thing that people forget, is that the government is not just some magical entity, and it's literally you. So, five, let's say five people are in a town. They decide to band together, create a quote unquote government, or at least something
Um,
that governs them. And one guy's a farmer, one guy's uh, whatever. They all have their own jobs, and when one person doesn't do their job and the other person fills in for them for a little bit, and then basically says that you owe me for this amount at this rate, and then they do that, and then the guy comes back. This creates a gap in the economy, and that's basically what we've have today. Is when it comes to economics, it's really simple actually, and it's really the only thing that can actually happen in the economy is there's this transition of debt, and the reason why the debt is there is because there's a lenience on some thing in periods. Mainly, it's to do with lack of labor, if anything. And when I find it kind of ironic now that people believe that we're losing jobs, and
Where the country.
whereas whereas you would want someone to be working for like I mean you'd think that we would be hiring people left and right, but no, we have it's it's not like that. I guess it's like we don't, if we don't see something as profitable enough, we don't do it at all, and now we're not doing anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem in the moment is that all governments are outsourcing. So or companies are outsourcing, sort of like importing, like from China and everything. So,
But
so this is, I think,
you
the
do
major problem,
you
really.
do get my point though, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah,
If
I
you
know what you mean.
create a system, it is better to create it because people know how the system works. And if people
So
corrupt the system, then the newer people will not know.
So, Equinox, I agree on you with making a new system because, like, it's only three of us here that is or know the army system, and I think like when we are finally have figured out how the organization and the ranking is supposed to be, I think it would be a really good idea to make everyone understand how the organization is built up, to make an organization tree, if you understand.
All right.
We need a rule book for the organization in the end,
No,
sort
no,
of a
no,
new
no.
one.
We're gonna
Or,
need
or,
some
or,
type of ranking system though, because without
yeah,
it,
and
if
when you
everybody
have,
has equal
yeah,
footing, then nothing's ever going to get accomplished. Because then we're going to
so when
become
you
nothing
have
but politicians to try to get what we want done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about drawing up an organization tree, like a family tree, where the position is from top and down the
Well,
organization.
let's
That makes it easy for everyone to
let's look
see.
at life in general, and let's go back to our government and how the government actually works. You know that everything in real life is actually a pyramid scheme, right? And that's the easiest way to run things is a pyramid scheme because
Yeah,
general
the top knows it. Yeah,
because as new people come in, then you have new slaves, and then the people that go up become peasants, and then the people that that came before them go up and become nobles or something. And essentially, this whole pyramid scheme of life um, has been throughout history
collapses.
and is the most beneficial thing to a company or any general government. And that is why I say that we should keep recruiting, is because we can run a perfect ranking system as long as we gain new members. But if we don't, it makes it so much more complex, and we have to rely a lot more on each other um, to be there when we need them, and that eventually even wears down, and people will get tired of doing the same things, and it just doesn't work. So that's why I'm saying we need fresh meat for the grinder or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like about right.
um,
well, we need more people. This is true.
yeah. So
Yeah.
also
But
for like capitalship
to we get
system.
more people, we also need to limit the total number of officers or people in certain ranks, like only so
Yes.
many at each rank. Because if not, if there's all chiefs and no Indians, nothing's going to get done then. Because then they're going to be arguing who's going to do what. So maybe have like the department head, he chooses one or two people who can take his place when he's not aligned for like meetings or to make a decision on something that he can trust to make the right call, and then have so many in each position below, so that way you're doing a great job, but if you screw up you can get demoted, and the person below you who has been doing a good job can get promoted, you know like some of your original concepts back in on the older Discord way back when you have to go all the way up through all the different shuffle stuff. So you can get demoted, you get promoted, and that way people knowing that they can get promoted, higher ranking, they get promoted, and they do better knowing that ultimately someone's going to step down or get screw up and get put down. They can go up even higher, and give them to work towards department head, making department head have some kind of benefit other over the other ranks, like
Yeah,
some
but
kind
then
of.
we are again in the ranking system.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I think the
name one thing
trouble.
in life that doesn't have a ranking system.
Yeah, but you see, I had so many organizations or clans or whatever, and if you start giving people sort of like a rank, then a lot of people come and say, "Oh, why does he got a rank? I'm longer there, and I should have this
Well,
rank."
that's no one comes in at a higher rank. They have to earn it.
Yeah, but even if you have to earn it, you will always have sort of like, German word I know now, and I don't have the. You have always people who say I'm better than him, and
Right,
why
but
do why is
that's
him?
every day in life also. Even in
No, it's
society,
I
my
don't,
next door neighbor's an
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah.
but
So
we're in a game,
I
and this
I
is
just
this is really making
no. This
problems
is
in
the
the
part
end.
that I actually kind of wanted to change as well. So I think that in that respect, I think that he's right, but we have to have some sort of
there's two he's. Which he?
um
The only girl's not
devil
on right now. So
uh
But isn't like so having a ranking system within the admins, that's okay, but make it more easy for the other departments.
Yeah, well, if you do it in the higher rankings, that's okay because well, you're in the highest position, and they should have sort of like a ranking who has what to say, so the people below those rankings know where to turn to in the end.
but
So not
see, in that
every.
same regard, that means someone who's new to the unit is going to have equal say as the department head on your same theory.
No, 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 no. You don't. No, you misunderstand me. But you see, you should have people in higher ranks, and there will always be. Of course, there will be some people who always say, "Why did he get this higher rank? He's stupid." This is always the same problem. But if you have
Well, it
this in
doesn't
the
matter if he's
lower
stupid or not. If he
parts,
does his job, he does more than is expected to him, and he's totally committed to the org. I don't see a problem with the idiot having a higher rank than a guy who's actually smart.
no, no,
The
no.
smart guy
Then
doesn't make him he's good at his job.
no.
Well, if you envy someone else's position, just get better. Prove your department commander how wrong he is to have promoted this one instead of you, and you're gonna get promoted, right? Which is gonna rise the overall quality of playtime we're gonna
I'm
have.
just, I know it sounds all logical. Even to me, it sounds very logical, but I
Yep.
had so many guys playing together. I had sort of like Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
yeah.
We had sort of ranks in there, and we were, I don't know, over 30 people as well. And even in this small group, if you sort of start going, okay, because you need commanders and whatever in a group like big like this, because we played ladders and everything. So um, but even
Uh,
in this short period, you sort of have people really going, why he and not him, or because of
I think I
friendships
know
or
what
whatever.
might work. I think I know what might work.
guy,
Um
can I say
yeah,
something?
sure.
So like I'm saying, like there are going to be quite few admins. There's not going to be really many of them. So to have an ranking tree, which is inside of the admin positions, that might be a good thing, because I think we all can accept it, and I don't think we
Yes,
will have jealousy within the admins.
yes, because the
And when
admins are
you
sort of like intelligent for that. Yeah,
yeah, hold up. And within the different departments, we can have, for example, have a commander which reports back to the admins which level it should be in the admin tree. That is up to the higher ranks to decide. And within the departments, you will have, for example, a commander and a high commander, and that's about it. And no other ranks underneath that. It
Yeah,
makes
and
it
you sort
really,
of
really easy. So, for example, in each department, we will have one high commander and a commander underneath that, and after that, there is no more ranks. So you have only one or two persons from one in each department that can go back to their person in the administration.
yeah,
What you mean
I
by that is pretty much to have one higher rank, one like commander per department, and then depend on time zone and involvement, you have one representative of that commander.
That's sort of what I was
Yes.
about to
So
say. Is like we I don't.
yes, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
think that we only need a leader of the division, and then maybe two people under him, and then the rest are members. Maybe just have that.
yes,
And yes, and the members.
that make it really, really easy, and it doesn't make this situation where we have this jealousy that
There's no expectation.
Devil's
Yeah.
Cross were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Well,
And you just do sort of like a rank, but not an rank as like commander or saying something, maybe inside the division. So, for instance, if you make a captain, that means only for the division that this captain is allowed to fly a bigger ship. For you, sort of like if you have an Hull E and you want to have as a commander, I want to know who to give command to the ship and the crew, and you just give those people sort of like a
this part, I wouldn't be worried about it that much because look, if I want to buy a reclaimer later on, I'm gonna buy it, and even if I'm just a member or even a visitor, I'm gonna fly it. If I die out of it, well, guys, I had for many, many, many million worth of money in this for the organization. So, commander or not, I'm piloting my ship,
yes, yes,
and
that's your own ship. That's the
I'm
difference.
asking for security. You didn't give it to me. Well, we lost money. That's all. Doesn't need a rank for this, but I just wonder is for the
Yeah.
security department, if, for example, those guys, they're gonna have squadron for scouting, they're gonna have squadron for escort, they're gonna have squadron for many things. So they're gonna need to have squad leaders. They're gonna to be a little more organized than everything else.
I
That's just
agree. I agree with you. If you have a reclaimer or something like this, that you, of course, use your own ship at your free will without asking for permission. But this is a different point. If you think about it, if we're getting more and more, and a lot of people won't have an Hull E, for instance, and the department buys a new Hull E with insurance, you don't let anybody fly who can't even fly a bigger ship like this or can't even command sort of like a crew of eight like this. So I mean, it's just for the department side to see, okay, he's doing fine. Let him test it. Let him try out. Give him a job, sort of like this. And if you know that he's doing his job good, then he's sort of like a captain. It's like I would say it's sort of like an exploration team goes out, and you have somebody like what you call it, a scientist guy. You call him, for instance, doctor or something. I just do this, because you know this guy. He's a really good scientist, and he finds planets with minerals or whatever fast or better than the others.
I
It's
totally
just
agree with all that, but I think at this point right now, we kind of trying to overcomplicate the things. This machine once started will just roll by
yeah.
itself. You like what you are involved in. You think it's rewarding. You're gonna get involved more. You're gonna participate. You're gonna get better, and everything is gonna just go.
I think what we're all getting to right now is the alpha male sort of mentality. If you are going to be a leader among members, and you are a member, if you wanted to, like, let's say, be a captain or whatever, then you if you have that mentality and you have the qualifications, essentially people will follow you naturally. And um, that's what I think you guys are trying to get to is it's all happens naturally after this point. And if you are like you could the commanders could select people to be um, leaders as well temporarily. So like okay, you're captain of this vessel, you're captain of that vessel or whatever. And then the rest are members or whatever. And they do crew roles and nobody specifically uh, assigned essentially as it, but you can still have some sort of control over the situation. However, that does leave a gap because um, that does leave the gap of dictative powers and a bias towards certain members, and that's also kind of trouble too.
Yep. But I think we kind of know what we're gonna do about ranking at this point, right? I think it's pretty much all right like this.
All right, so what we've decided so far, let me get this straight. We're gonna have for every division but the admin division, we're gonna have um, just the like three leaders or whatever we talked about, like the one main and then the two below him or whatever. Um, then the rest are members, right? Or
Yeah, that's pretty much what we were talking about.
okay, well, I would need confirmation from everybody. If just I don't know, type I into chat if you agree with this.
What was the question?
Oh,
Just checking. Make sure I heard it correctly. That's
all right. Well, if you agree with having um, three leaders of each division, one main in one of those leaders, and then two co-leaders, sort of stance, and then the rest are members. I think that's what we were agreeing upon, right?
all.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay. So say I in admin chat if you agree with this. All right. All right. All right. So.
And Dixie's thing is he walked left.
All right. Okay, Gareth. um. All right. So on to the next subject. Um. I was gonna talk about general activity. Well, actually, no. That's something I want to get to at last. So I was gonna talk about compartmentalization. What is your guys' opinions on compartmentalization and need to know basis knowledge? This is just a discussion. I have no paperwork for this.
What I'm thinking about when you talk about compartmentalization, whatever the name of it, it's kind of hard on my mouth. Um,
Same here.
do you mean you mean the knowledge of the superior rank to
Yeah.
He's
downwards?
he,
That okay?
he's currently
The,
outside walking his dog and it's raining. That's why he
Ah.
doesn't have his phone out.
so what I'm gonna say about that is the more people know, the more able they are to replace the guy that is missing, right?
Well, this is
If
this is having to do with spies and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, if a spy understands the knowledge of a higher authority, uh,
if I'm playing for you for the last 6 months without any kind of whoops, I don't know why they were waiting for us here or stuff like that. That is doubtful. maybe. Okay, yeah, I should know better, or there will be those guys that they are involved, or they are very good at spying, and if they are very good at spying, well, they deserve the information because this is how it plays,
Uh,
and we should totally do it too,
no, that's the hazard to the
right?
group. That's that if they it's
That's
not
a
only
hazard.
information that they gain, they can disassemble our organization altogether.
So, what did I miss?
Spying system. But what I'm saying is there's some information that of course you don't want to share with the whole thing, if especially if we are 1,000 member and you don't know half of them,
Uh,
right?
for instance,
That I
back
understand.
to fleet
But
coordination, if you were to say, okay, we're doing this operation right now, guys, but you wouldn't represent it like that. You wouldn't say, okay, everyone on like all comms or something. You'd say, okay, well, you get the division heads or whatever and say, okay, well, um, we need to relay this message to this certain group of people or whatever, and um, everybody else is a need to know basis. Um,
Well, you should do it like army
that's what
wise.
I was saying.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing. Everybody just gets to know what they need to know, and the only guys who know everything are the ones who are in the commanding position, and the rest,
yeah,
even the captain doesn't know where to fly, or the captain of the next ship doesn't know where to fly till he goes flying. So the period of of a spy to give the what you call it the waypoints, for instance, will be so late that they have to gather really fast staff together to actually get you on the point. Or you even can say we go from A to B, but you don't say that we're going from A to in between A, B, and then to C or whatever, just so people
meeting
who are
point.
not, yeah, sort of like don't know everything. They don't know how many ships are flying escort. They don't know anything about it. They know only in the end we are going to fly from this point to this point to this point, doing this, and that's it. And everybody flies. And in the end, when we start flying, so they, if you have enemies or guys looking for you, they have to find out in real time what escort is flying. So they need a herald to actually know the whole plan to gather the information. So if we know we've somebody got a contract to A to B, and for transport, for instance, I know I can only fly from 2 hours from then, and I'm going to a hangar. So my guys who are flying know we are going from there to my hangar, unload, and then um, another commander takes, or another captain takes over the cargo and puts it to the right position. So like this, I would say it's the easiest way. So the lower rank you are, the less you know in the end.
Yeah.
So in the end, nobody knows. Everybody, okay, we have to fly. We fly 3 hours from now on. It's going to take. We're going to meet at 8 o'clock. Okay, then the captain knows. Okay, you can look out for a route going from A to B, A, B, C, whatever you want to go. I want to know it in the end. Just me, I want to know it where we're flying, and I'm going to tell you what escort we are going to take, for instance. So I'm going to get the escort for this transport, so nobody knows in the end. So the less information goes down, the better it is, and then you have 10,000 spies in there, and they only know half of it. So this should be the way to do it, really.
Yeah, but there's another factor that is Discord or Vent or Mumble or TeamSpeak, name it, Raycall. Okay, there's that guy that will get his information by the fly, that will be able to talk to a third party as we go. We
Yeah,
won't
I
we
know
won't
as we
be
go, but
covered
then
from any kind of spying game ever because of that.
that you won't get
What
away,
I said
of
pretty much
course.
down below.
There's only two ways to avoid most of it. is to say, okay, we are meeting at this point, like you said, and nobody knows where we are going after that point. But there's some people that need to know, in just in case that guy who knows die,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But still, okay, you go there, you go there, you go there, you go there, synchronize jumping and whatever, you do it, and that's it. If someone disconnect from Discord during the process, is out of the convoy for the end until the
Well,
convoy is at safe.
like I was talking about mentioning is like I can have TeamSpeak on and Discord on. When I push the button to basically mute y'all or to mute, like force to talk, when I'm talking voice PTT with y'all and I'm talking to y'all and I push the button to do PTT, it can be muting the other TeamSpeak. And when so I could be talking to y'all one group through TeamSpeak, finding out information, pushing the button, telling y'all, and using a quick radar scan can tell you how many people we got in the group
Yeah,
and or
that's
the
really the
destination.
point.
And the only problem would be was the few seconds of delay from me getting the quick information, and it will take. And I know that since I'm flying the dang ship and they have it on the screen where anyone looking on the screen sees where you're going, it only takes a few seconds to say, hey, this is where we're going. This is how many escorts we got. Like Delta 1, 36 ships going to Delta 1 checkpoint. And it just matter of time, how long would it take before they get there before we could jump again if, or quadrant jump again, since that's going to have to build up before it actually goes.
Well, if you're going like this, there will be never 100% secure way
Oh yeah, there's no way ever.
putting it away, sort of like, and keeping it all secret if you have a spy. But you can eliminate sort of the point of the enemy actually gathering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of like,
Not
sort of,
knowing ahead of time where they
yeah,
actually
right.
have to get it. Yeah.
If you have like 2 days time to say, okay, we got 2 days time, and you get enough people together for this raid or whatever, or be first there, or never mind whatever. Um, there will be only sort of like a limited time, so they need about, I don't know, if they need 50 people and they only have, say, 2 hours time, then it's going to be more difficult for them to get the 50 people to attack us in the end. But you never will have it to pull down to zero. So the only way you can actually pull it down to nearly zero, if you put the pointer that you don't want to have too many PvP. So if you push that down, so you don't get attacked by a really big chunk of real people. So you eliminate sort of like that point a bit. So for making money, you should all put your PvP down to zero. So only NPCs will attack in the end. So
I'm not
um,
sure this is where the organization want to go for the most part. I talked with some of our member. Most of those guys that I talked with, they want that slider all the way up because
yeah,
it's more rewarding. I heard.
yeah. I it depends on what you are doing. I don't, what if I'm going for a transport and I got 3 Hull-E's running, full of minerals or whatever, and I want to make that money, I'm going to push down the first time my PvP down to zero. If you're a security guy and you want to make a security run and you want to play PvP, okay, do it if you want to do it. You know, it
Yeah.
depends even what we are doing. So if we are at the start, I bet nearly everybody's going down with PvP because they want to make money for the organization first, and you don't make money if you have PvP upwards. If you're in security and you're going out with PvP on full throttle, and you got an organization like the 10,000 one or 10, and you got 200 ships running your way, I don't know if you want that. So because you're going to lose a lot of money just because you can't protect anything anymore.
don't forget just one thing first. Okay. Look, we are actually evolving around one planet and three moons.
At the
Okay.
moment.
Yes, and we are 24 per server. That I totally agree with this. But what's going to happen once we have 100 solar system hub and we are a million online, which is not going to be everyone at all time. We're going to be something like maybe 200,000 in peaks of every single for example, okay, Europe time zone, European are playing, and then people start sleeping, then the Americans start playing, and then back and forth Asian and whatever. We won't be a million member online except if the number goes up drastically. But you imagine how much space it is if you're smart and you keep your signature low. You can put that slider all the way up, make the most money out of it without getting detected because you can be concealed, you can be hidden, you know what I mean. There's smart way to do your traveling, and there's that kind of feeling, right? You're happy with it because wow, I did it. you know, like you're scared to do it, but you do it, and then when you reach the end, you're super happy about that, right?
And your ship blows up.
Yeah,
No, I know what you mean. And of course, at the start, we're not talking about the start. But it still is going to be hardcore if you fly against a lot of PvP with all the big ships which are out. And if
well,
you think about it, we're 1.5 million guys, and I don't know, 50% of those 1.5 million guys have big ships, and at least one big ship. And if you sort of have only um, a few groups of 200, in the end of you always have at least one big ship running into you with some smaller ships. So this is going to be really big fights in the end. So
yes,
and
and
I know that we are only running at the moment at 24, but I know that those 24 is for us only. I know we can actually go up already now. I think, I don't know, last time it was 64, but it's not running smoothly. But I think they're going to go for 128 or something like this soon. So this is going to be rapidly. And if Chris Roberts says he wants to do something, eventually he does it fast. So at the moment, the servers run only on the smaller chunk because CryEngine is not written right yet.
CryEngine is
But
gone. We're a lumberyard now.
It's CryEngine that's been modified, just like StarEngine. Lumberyard's the same thing. They just modified it. It's just CryEngine. Crytek has announced they're no longer making updates for CryEngine.
yeah,
So
yeah, well,
basically, it was
they're rebuilding it.
since it's free, anyone can take it and use it. And that's what Amazon does. The only benefit of using Lumberyard is Amazon has their own team developing it also, and they provide you with the networks needed to run your game. And they
Good.
state that they can run all the servers. And since their servers are located worldwide, it can be game could be worldwide, so there'd be more lower ping for more people.
Yeah. All right. So, did we get to the point of spying stuff? And I think yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so
spying will be
I think, like,
always.
for example, I'm pretty sure that we can make like in the admin or the highest levels of the organization, I'm pretty sure we can avoid having spies in the admin levels, and after that we go down to the levels of departments, and there we will have the commanders, and they will be on a need to know basis in each and every group.
Yeah, and in the end, the commander is in the end the guy who has to decide who knows. And if he does a wrong move on that, it's his own fault. So if I'm trusting one guy and he's a spy, well, it's actually your. it's your decision to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so as long as we don't have spies in the higher levels of the organization, up in admin areas, then I think we will be fine.
Yeah, that's what I think so. Yeah, that's a good point. What I meant, sort of like it's your in the end. You have to tell an admin you're doing this, for instance. Like your commander sort of has the high command says, I don't know, we're doing this. Maybe we should have a platform where we can tell the high command. So if anything happens to the high command, and I don't know, it didn't go down to the next command or whatever, that the high command knows what's happening. So
Because as long as we don't have spies in the upper areas of the organization, we will be fine, and we can take out those other problems that it will be lower down in the organization.
yeah, and even if you think about it, you even can pinpoint the spies. So if you know only what's happening, we actually can, if we have an idea or maybe someone sort of thinks that he gotten spy, for instance, we could actually make traps like this. So we can play information to the lower ones, to special lower ones, so we know in the end who's maybe the spy and use him, for instance, for
Yes,
us.
and counterintelligence.
Yeah. So actually, sort of like if we know what we are doing uh, with each other. So for instance, if the security thinks they got a spy, so we could actually sort of pinpoint sort of like fake stuff. So tell some people what we're doing and even sort of counter attack, like waiting for the attack. And then you know in the end who is a spy, sort of like it's like a game inside our ranks like this. So I think it's quite okay if and most people just don't need to know what we are doing. So if you think about it in the military, if those guys they just know um, the boat Enterprise or whatever is going to sail at 6 o'clock. So, but they don't know where they're sailing to. They just have to say, okay, who you want to come? Okay, if you come, you get paid that much because you know how much you get paid in the end. So you get this amount of money if you come with us. So he says yes, no, and they come at 600 hours Wednesday, play, and then off they go, sort of like this. And the pilot says, okay, we are going now through this wormhole, this wormhole, this wormhole, this wormhole. So sort of after one after the other. So in the end, only 3 people or 4 people know what's happening, and that's enough. And the spy only can say in the end, okay, we went this way, but he doesn't know where to go. Okay, he could find out where we are going, but when we're doing it, but he doesn't have to leave the ship like in real life. The soldiers or the Marines don't have the allowance to leave the ship on the planet, for instance. So you can actually cut everything, every eye off or a hand off, which could give away anything. It's a commander's way, really. So the commander has to know who to trust and who not. And if he finds out he can't trust somebody, then it's okay.
All right.
That's all I have to say for it. I would play it
Anybody
like
else
this for
have any
so.
opinions? Alrighty. Uh, 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 uh. All right. On to the next thing. All right. Alliances. Yes. All right. On to one of the main determiners. Not that those weren't. All right. So, we've been in contact with an alliance so far, called Cognition Corporation, and I think that I'm just gonna state this first. Uh, uh, Basically, I think we should plan on making smaller alliances before bigger alliances, um, so that we can have more sort of like influence within the alliance. So like for instance, but but sort of have not like we could have like strict rules on group absorption and stuff like that, and like we got to give them the security that they need, that they know as us as a group that we won't absorb their members and stuff like that. So I'm thinking we could get groups of 50 or more to, or sorry, 250 or less, um, to join an alliance with us. Um, because if we do anything over that, I think it'd be risking our influence to mean nothing, and whereas it'd
Yeah,
be basically like submitting our organization um, to another organization. And that's
your point is better looks like a partner than a parasite, right?
yeah. It's the same thing with vassalization, sort of like um, you know how what was that movie? God damn it. It, well, basically, if you have enough power, you can have people that will be vassalized essentially. That's what we have, and if we have 250 members, that's a fair amount of members. And if we go to a corporation like Cognition Corp that has 48 members, um, it is hard to really uh, it's hard to sort of say no, but at the same time, we don't want to force them to do anything because that would jeopardize the whole meaning of an alliance. And that's the point I'm getting at is other organizations like Imperium and all these other huge organizations, they don't believe the same things we believe. We don't. They don't believe that um, there should be any rules on group absorption or uh, any morally correct things generally, because they are the bigger. They believe that they are the bigger organization. They should have all the say. And I think that if we are to lead an alliance, um, we should be just.
That's fucked up. They just think we should just take it and deal with it.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
That's what I'm saying is that's the same with almost all alliances. And I can't there's always like one alliance or one part of the alliance that generally determines the the verdict. And I would rather us be that verdict because at least we know that we're fair.
Yeah, I agree with you. So affiliate with smaller organization, not more than let's say about 1/3 the size, or yeah, or 50% of our own size in
Well, I was
members.
thinking um either ones are like, yeah, I guess that's what yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying, like 1/3, 1/4, just generally anything like really that is smaller than us. So like we could have like this massive amount of alliances, and um I know we want to keep it small. We would probably want to keep it small, but um, it would actually benefit us to get people that are just starting their own corporations to join, because and then we could support them. And uh, this being said, because it helps build relations with two groups, and that could lead to other things, and that's how real alliances actually form. And I think that just saying that you're an alliance is more of like a non-aggression pact. Um,
And if we help them while they're small, when they become large, they'll remember that we help them out, and they won't fuck
yeah,
with us.
exactly. That's sort of what I'm thinking, and that's how we can get allies within the alliances essentially. and people to back our vote, sort of. But we're not going to be we don't want to be all the time dictating everything. We should go with what other people say a lot of the time, because otherwise people sort of catch on and realize uh, that they don't have much say. um, so that's sort of something that we want to watch out for, because then a lot of them, it might cause like a big uproar in the alliance. Uh, so maybe it's a touchy subject, but I thought that would be a good idea when it came to alliances. Otherwise, I don't think that we should go into any alliance.
Yeah, it's all right like that. I mean, we're gonna have diplomats in the organization, right? We get approached by one of those big guys. Yeah, we can talk together, but this is where it's in. You do your stuff, I do mine.
Yeah. Oh, and also alliance doesn't.
You need some service from my organization. Ask for it. We're gonna charge you a decent price, and that's it.
That's not. That's what I was
No.
about to talk about. We don't. Alliances don't mean trade agreements. Alliance means a set of rules that we all abide by. That's literally how alliances should work in real life, and they actually do work like that in real life, I believe, because you can trade embargo and still be in an alliance. Um,
I'm seeing Game of War right now. Oh, I ran towards that tile before you. You fuck the nap.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, trade. It does not mean trade agreements. A lot of people have that misconception that that when you're in an alliance, it automatically means you're trading together, and that's not how.
Yeah, it just means you won't fight each other and you help defend each other, but that's it.
Yeah,
Well, but you know what? Those big guys, they don't. Do they really care about that?
no, they care about their trade agreements because they want trade agreements so that they can screw over other people, and that's why they're part of the alliance. They the ones like Imperium, you'll see I can look up the pact right now, and all the members of their alliance are smaller than them, and they're on the very top of it, and they're on the top of the list for a reason because they created that pact, and um, they mean to use them, and
Yeah,
that is
it's true.
in a way. In a way, I don't. I sort of believe in the sort of the same thing, but I believe in more of a just way, and if we allow them to grow, they will become bigger and better than um, than their alliance in the end. So because the thing is, if you steal the resources from the people, like I call it stealing, but they call it business. Um, they if you steal resources from people within the alliance, um, it it only goes to your organization, and your organization can only ever do so much because you only have so many people that are willing to lead it. Whereas these organizations are individually led, each single one of them, and they're smaller than you, so they're more coordinated technically. They are they have more dedication to those resources, and they can see where those resources are going way better than you can. So in the end, having the resources stay within the alliance and is probably a better choice, not only for relation wise, but for in general the quality of life within the alliance. So when they call upon their
Yeah.
allies, they'll come with uh, probably the like little to no change in the ships that they um, came with maybe like a month ago or something. And then whereas your alliance is like your organization's like um, got all those resources from the other people in the alliance, and it's got like upgrades, some little upgrades to the ships and stuff like that. Okay, well, cool. Uh, it's it it's not a big determiner, is what I'm saying. And I don't think that we should um, be taking advantage of our neighbors. So that's what I think personally for this organization. But if you guys want to do that, we can talk about it and think it over. I guess I don't
No, everything seems crystal clear. Let's go
Yep.
for it.
know.
Yay again.
All right. So that's sort of what I wanted the play set about. Um, so I already talked to. This comes to after this. This I already talked to Cognition Corp or whatever with Aiden. To the leader, Fascination. He plans on he plans on sorry, I was looking at message. He plans on going on with further engagement with our group, I believe. Last time we spoke, we hammered out some things, and basically what we just had our conversation about. And he's sort of on the lines of agreement. Now, this would be good because then we would have our first alliance, and I think that we should take our first alliance very seriously, um, considering that it's better to just get close to someone in the alliance to let others warm up to us. And then I think it'll build naturally
Right.
after that.
Got
Um, so yeah, that's all I have to say for alliances. If you guys got any questions about it or even suggestions, just
Was clear.
so
Be clear.
If I agree, and if it's okay, I think I have one organization I can start to talk with if it's okay.
we don't, and that's another thing. We don't ally with pirates, so just make sure that they're not pirate or infiltration.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
Well,
course, of
actually, we
course.
might do an infiltration later on, but only infiltration group for dedicated to our alliance. Because that's another thing we spoke about is we don't do spying. I don't think. Well, our the alliance does spying for defensive measures, but um,
There we go. I was hoping you were saying something like that
we
because spying is important.
alliance will be spying for defensive measures and for the mutual interest of the alliance. I don't think that we will be using spies as an individual entity within the alliance. Um, at least not officially.
Um,
Scouting is a form of spying,
Scouting is
right?
not a
So we
form. No,
no, it's
it's not a form of spying. That's something that you can see with your clear eyes. I think that informational uh, joining.
spying, you mean infiltrating other
Yes,
organizations?
infiltration.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
we won't be doing it officially, is what I'm saying.
No. Okay.
Um,
And
so yes. Anywho, that's sort of and if we do catch someone spying, or catch someone hiring spies or whatever, then we might just kick that person, maybe give them maximum sentence. That I think that that's the proper way to deal with that, because it would be jeopardizing the alliance. But as we sort of talked about in,
For selling is
sorry,
okay or not?
scouting is okay.
Gathering
Spying,
information, yeah, sort of like gathering information and selling it.
Hello. I thought
Hey,
this
hey,
was
Crumb.
11 GMT
Hi, Chrome.
last I read.
that's fine. So, anyways, so yeah, spying. Not a. I think that we not a at least not on an official notice. Um, I don't think that we should be spying. As an alliance, we might get someone from our group to join the alliance infiltration division, but I don't think that they'll be used for any personal pursuit unless it jeopardizes our group or any group in period.
So just to clarify what he is saying, so using like a herald is not considered spying. Just infiltrating the organization is considered spying.
It's scouting.
That's
Spying
how
is
I.
infiltration. Yep.
That's why I just want to make sure.
All right.
That's why I asked too.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's
See that word spy is very vast.
Herald
Yeah.
is just observation.
One question: is
Yeah,
it long since it started? Did I miss much?
not really. Well, yeah, kind of, but more like an hour and a half. It's not. It's most of it was like talking over stuff. I'm recording it right now, so you can look at it.
Okay, because there's one thing, a couple of points I want to make this time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to say that since we are an org run by admins, any decision to promote people to admins from now on should be done on an admin meeting, and maybe we should host those
Agreed.
monthly. Just
I think that we should have applicants sort of, uh, and that's what another thing that I was gonna speak about. I think we're done with the alliance conversation. Um, the introduction to the council. I think that we need to have a council, and if we were to make some non-formal decisions like some
yeah, we could assign someone to promote people, and but they would also need to keep a list, and because
we need administration vote,
for
I think, to get people in. Is what I'm saying, like a non-bias vote.
yeah, but for instance, you invited this 13-year-old kid. I'm not sure if he's here now. I don't
What's
think
his
so.
name?
Uh, Jedi Joe
That wasn't
Max, I
me.
think,
That
and
was what's his face, and you agreed upon that, and I didn't. So
yeah, I agreed because I didn't think I think you wanted it, but I don't like those young kids, you know that. But for once, I kept my mouth shut, and but we haven't seen
But
it either.
okay.
And that's one thing with those admin zeros. If we don't see them, we should just demote them. In my opinion.
Oh, I see. I see most of them for the most part, and yes, I did demote a couple so far because they weren't uh, generally as active as I was hoping. So that's I think that a lot of that had to do with um, how how their life's going at the moment, and it would be nice if people would tell me uh, what's going on in their life when they go away, uh, because
I
Yeah,
did, I did, I did. I
I
tell
know.
you everything. I told you I'm gone.
Yeah, that's fine.
sure.
It's just I need notifications, so like people say, okay, well, I'm going to go on a vacation. I'm like, okay, sure, but for how long? I've had people say that, like, oh yeah, I'm going away or whatever for a bit, and it's like, um, all right, and then I'll message them
Yeah.
like a month later or something. They'll be like, oh yeah, I've been back for 3 weeks. What? I'm like, why didn't you come on Discord, fucker? Um, so I need a good time estimate. Um, if you are to
Yeah,
take some leave, I'd like
yeah. Yeah, I just want to say that for the moment, this should of course only apply to admins because
I
members we can't demand much of them yet, sadly.
uh,
now with when it comes to the younger kids, yeah, a lot of them are kids, but there are some that are somewhat more adult like. Could we always just, if they're little kids or young kids, just give them a trial basis to see if what see if they do perform like we hope, like they should, or if they don't, or they behave correctly. And if they don't, then they can just
Yeah, but
get kicked out.
I also would say we need to set a hard limit and at 16, and it's not just for my sake, but it's also for their sake because I know I tend to be a bit bad mouthed to them and stuff, and maybe that's not the best behavior we should
Have you
show to
played
them.
with some of these fucking 12-year-olds in Rust yet? They are more bad mouth than I
Yeah,
was
of
when I was
course.
in the military
Yeah, of course.
because their parents don't pay attention to them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
but
we should invite us here for God's sake.
Okay. So yeah, 16. We can. I think that the only person I'm concerned about so far is, yeah, the one that you're talking about, Crom, Jedi, Joe Max, or Jenkins. He's
12-year-old.
he's kind of annoying, to be
Yeah,
honest.
let's just say goodbye to him then, if no one objects.
He just comes into he leaves abruptly too. Like he'll say, "Okay, I'm going. Bye, done." I'm like, "Oh,
Well, look. Okay, don't get him involved into stuff that is too important. He might be a good asset, but
Just
for
keep them
right
as a
now, for right now, this guy, you have to listen to his parents. I remember when I was playing World of Warcraft back in the day, in the middle of a raid, that guy was getting disconnected because his parents were pulling the plug of the computer. He
Well,
probably is in a situation like that. So,
yeah,
is it his
well,
fault? Not really. I'm just saying, don't get him involved in
just keep them as
stuff
a
that aren't.
member,
Yeah,
and we stick them where
exactly.
we need extra
that's
help for the
the. I
day
think
or for
that's
that time,
the problem though. I think that having him around
and have him.
can cause can
Well,
cause communication problems, or at least with people.
right.
I know that Crom doesn't like hearing all about his day all the time. Jenkins tells me every single time he comes into the channel what ships he's buying and shit like that, and I tell him straight up, like I don't care,
All right.
and he will keep telling me anyways, and it's just so annoying. So I think that
Yeah,
people that are underage need to stick to text um, until they are old enough.
Or have an admin assigned to them to teach them properly how to work within the org.
or
Uh,
maybe just
I'm just saying, so that
don't
way the admin can pull them aside and say, "Hey, you need to shut up."
okay,
just don't hire my.
babysitting, fucking. Um,
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
just it's
Okay.
just like when you start a new job, you will shadow someone that if you never done it, worked for the company before, you'll be with someone for so long so you can learn the ropes of the
so it's like
company and
it's like
they can say, "Hey, you
internship.
don't need to say this."
so do
Yeah,
you
there
want
you
a
go.
baby? Do you want to be a babysitter then, Aiden? Is that what you're saying?
I don't mind helping people if
That's
I'm
what he does with
online. That's
us,
I'm
huh?
just just give people
Babysitting.
because you're talking to a guy who at the age of 13 lived out in the garage by himself, had a full-time job, and went to school.
Shitty.
So no, it's just that was me. I was a very responsible person. I've been mowing yards since I was 7 years old. I get up to crack of dawn, mow yards, and it was nothing for me to make $100 in a weekend.
I
Yeah,
wanted
Where
well,
like
my
my.
two brothers, my older brother's a lazy ass and wanted me to just give him money, and I told him, "Fuck you, come work with me, and then we'll work it." But no, so
yeah, yeah, that's good for you, but I don't see that guy being like that.
well, I understand. I understand.
And then you have your brother nowadays that is wondering why you are married, why you have a
So I
career,
think the I think the
why.
better thing would be to take the main point of this is some people actually just don't like listening to that, and a person cannot always be on to babysit this person. So I think that
That's
either
true. I
either that
understand.
you make a timeline um, that the person is allowed coming on, which would be restrictions, or we could just restrict their voice chat permissions and say you must be 16 or older to use voice chat permissions.
Nah,
Okay.
that would make it
I'll be right
hard
back.
for everyone. That would mean we all have to sit and type when we play and
Oh
do
no,
other stuff.
we got tons of people that are willing to type back to people and stuff like that.
Well,
They,
well, yeah, and plus,
um,
if you're playing a game together, then you can be pulled into the Star Citizen channel, and it'd be kind of different because you're actually playing and you're not just hanging out chatting and bullshitting.
Yeah. What about Rattle?
Sorry,
What's happening with this guy?
who?
Yeah, Aiden wrote it's Rattle in the chat. Norix is
Barathol.
asking what about him, Barathel.
Oh, Parathol.
Oh, they're constantly telling you how the day went, talking, and never taking a breath in between each word.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of have a little bit of a hard time with him.
Yeah, that's sort of me too in Excalibur as well, but Excalibur actually is improving, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had no problems with Excalibur, to be honest. But
You have
Paragon, yeah, but sure.
I think
I
It's just the point
Excalibur.
that
I
he.
think
It's just the point that he tells everybody he's a racist instead of saying that he has issues with different cultures, because cultures and race is two different things. They can go hand in hand, but they're totally separate.
Yeah,
But
we
he
don't.
tells
yeah.
everybody that he's a racist.
Racism
No.
racism isn't allowed at all. That's been said and done several times. If you're a racist, you have nothing here to do here, basically.
The only thing I can say about racist is if stupid is a race, I am a racist. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
I'm just allergic to those people. That's all.
yeah. But I'm just saying it that racism that's not allowed. I think that's also in our org rules. So any form of racism or bigotry or whatever, that's not allowed at all.
Nope,
Right.
I agree with that.
Expression of it, that's true. We should change that to expression of any
Like,
expression of racism or bigotry
No
is not allowed.
racist of any kind will be tolerated. Period. That
Well,
that word
technically.
usually.
So if someone gets on here and says they're not Islamic, but they support ISIS, I'm going to be nice to them? No, I'm not.
That's true. If someone comes here and
And
say they
that's the
support
still.
ISIS, that's
So
well,
and
that's just goodbye, and I don't know what the hell they will do here anyway.
right, I know, but I understand. But they still play games. Some of them may still play games. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
but then
that's what I'm saying is that's why I
play in
said
your
any
own time.
display, because you can be racist, just don't fucking say it around people or hear it or show people. Don't demonstrate it
Yeah,
because
sure. But
people.
if you're truly racist, you wouldn't be here anyway because we have people from basically all over the world of all races.
Yeah,
So
we have people from Saudi Arabia, we have people from Israel, so people have to keep that shit for themselves.
Right,
I think
but
so too.
that's what I'm saying. That's why there would be no demonstration of racist, because I don't know very many people from, and we even got a guy from Pakistan or India, Pakistan or
Morocco.
Syria, one of those two. But I haven't met very many people from Israel that likes Pakistan or Pakistan that likes Israel
I
or
mean,
India likes,
yeah, but
you know,
you should actually put this into a rule that never mind what age, what color, or what country you're coming from in the organization in the game, you're in the same country. I
right.
would say so. It doesn't matter where you come
You're the
from.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I
That's why I'm
think that
saying
should be
no
all.
demonstration or expression of racism. Uh, but then you also got to say on the same regard is because I like jokes and I don't find offense in jokes. A joke is a joke, but some people do. So we also would have to put, if we put no racist jokes, then we also have to put no sexist jokes. And if we say no, so that's it's opening a can of worms.
I would say when it comes to joke, it's a matter of having well bits of respect for those in the group. You just tell a joke and someone is offended by it, just try to make a notice not to tell a racist joke when he's around or something like that. Because in my eyes, a joke is a joke.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
right.
Well, I think it
It's
should
only
be like
go ahead.
I'm from Germany and we have we even make yeah, well, if we don't like Hitler jokes or whatever, but still laugh about it. You know what I mean? Sort of like,
Yeah,
but depending
tell
on
them.
the people. But I think making jokes, you could actually say it's a joke, so you have no trouble with it. But if somebody says, I don't like things like this, he should stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, so, but in the end, you will know what's right or what's wrong. I would
yeah,
say,
and also you tend not to tell racist jokes around.
depending on what people there are and whatever, yeah.
So that's the normal social antennas.
So, but if somebody is going too far, I think you should have sort of like the commanders or the admins should say,
One
"Come on,
moment.
guy, now it's enough."